Hello there, very good evening to you. You're watching Primetime News on TV1. We are coming to you live and direct from Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I am Tarushi Kumar Singha and here are your headlines for tonight.
Another revelation on US intervention. Cardinal requests all the parties to unite and form an independent commission to reveal the truth behind the April 21st attacks.
මෙම ඉල්ලීම් ඉටු නොකර එළඹෙන ජනාධිපතිවරණයේදී ජනාධිපති ධූර අපේක්ෂකයන් මා මුණ නොගැසෙන බව දන්වා සිටිනවා.
Discharging of imported garbage prohibited. Court of Appeal orders to seek permission before re-exporting. Who are the presidential candidates?
මොනහරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබෙනවද ඒ කියන්නේ මේ සමහර
නෑ නේ ඉතින් 11 වෙනිදාට බලා ගන්නකෝ
තම අපේක්ෂකයා කවුද කියන එක හැමෝම බලන්නේ
අත වශයෙන්ම මේ සන්දානය සඳහා සියලුම පක්ෂ අත්සන් කරායින් පසුව කවුද ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂක කවුද අගමැති අපේක්ෂක තීරණය කරලා ලබන්නේ.
On to your top story this evening, parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansa made a revelation in Parliament today. He said that officials of the American Secret Service had met with a number of suspects in the custody of the Terrorist Investigation Division in connection to the April 21st terror attacks.
These suspects in the custody of the Terrorist Investigation Division are being held at the Valisara Naval Base. Two officials of the American FBI came to this naval base at 9:30 a.m. on the 24th of July 2019. They are Tricia White and Matthew Arroyts. They said that they wanted to meet these suspects. When the naval base did not grant them permission, there is a high-ranking official at the TID there, and he gets an order from up top to allow them in, and the two FBI officials enter the naval base. Besides these two officials, from the American Embassy, two people by the names of Aruna and Sanjay Mailvanam also arrive here. Sanjay Mailvanam is the translator. The only people allowed to be in the room were the two American FBI officials, the suspects, and the two people who were sent from the American Embassy. The FBI officials questioned the suspects for close to 2 hours. Why is there a need for these two American FBI officials to question these two suspects connected to terrorism alone in a room? Today, these terrorist attacks have been used to make this country a hub for the American Secret Service, and it has spread everywhere. Prasad Karyavasam is also in Parliament now. He is shamelessly still in here. He is working for the United States of America. He is the person who persuaded the former Defense Secretary to sign the AXA agreement that is detrimental to the country. These beggars who dance to the tunes of America are enemies of the country. He is still being kept inside this parliament. There are two American national journalists at Lake House and at the Observer paper. An American Tamil is at the Elections Commission and he is being paid by the United States. He is in charge of the computer division. So today, they have got this country in a net. Parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansa made this statement today in a backdrop where allegations are being levelled against the government over attempting to establish a hub for the US to acquire goods and services in the country through the AXA, SOFA and Millennium Challenge Cooperation agreements. Recently, a US aircraft landed at the Katunayaka Bandaranaike International Airport and exchanged goods with an American military vessel docked off the coast under the provisions of the AXA agreement that has already been signed. 2 weeks ago, two large cargo aircrafts belonging to Western Global, a company that provides civil aviation services to the US Department of Defense, landed here on two separate occasions. One of the aircrafts had arrived in Sri Lanka from the American base located in the Guam Islands. The Prime Minister made a statement in Parliament saying that the government of Sri Lanka has presented certain amendments to the proposed SOFA agreement with the US. Although the Prime Minister assured that the agreement will only be signed if the US agrees to those amendments, the opposition raised suspicion that the SOFA agreement has already been signed. The country's land laws that were due to be amended using the grant of $480 million through the Millennium Challenge Cooperation were halted by a determination of the Supreme Court on the matter. The opposition alleges that the government, through this amendment, were attempting to make it easier for land to be acquired for the proposed economic corridor between Trincomalee and Colombo. While American influence in the country continues to make headlines, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the Right to Peaceful Assembly, Clement Naletsosivol, held discussions with the Chief Justice of Sri Lanka. His attempts to summon a number of High Court judges were foiled after the matter was revealed in Parliament. when details of such foreign interventions in the country continue to crop up. Information on a large consignment of garbage containers being imported to the country were also revealed.
On to another headline-making story now. The Court of Appeal today issued an interim injunction order preventing the foreign waste found in Katunayaka Free Trade Zone and the garbage containers in Colombo port from being taken to any internal location in the country. President of the Court of Appeal Yasantha Kodagoda and Justice Arjuno Besekar also issued an order preventing the containers from being re-exported without the approval of the court.
The Court of Appeal granted leave to proceed with the case filed by the Centre for Environmental Justice regarding the garbage. Court ordered that notices be issued against the respondents to appear before court on the 20th of September. Haley's Free Zone Limited, ETL Private Limited, the BOI, the Central Environmental Authority, the Director General of Customs and the Attorney General have been named as the respondents for this case. On a separate note, the Surakimu Sri Lanka National Movement today arrived at the premises of the Central Environmental Authority to request them to take legal action against the import of garbage containers into the country. Until today, none of these institutions are being responsible regarding this. The BOI is not responsible to the Central Environmental Authority. The Central Environmental Authority is not responsible to the Customs, and the Customs are not responsible to the BOI. We are taking steps to remove the garbage at the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone out of the country and take legal action against the company responsible for importing it. Steps will be taken regarding this at the end of this week or at the start of next week. The Central Environmental Authority is not obliged to do anything more. While the issue of garbage importation continues to aggravate in Sri Lanka, Indonesia has sent back a consignment of garbage containers that were imported from France and Hong Kong. Indonesia's custom officials stated that the containers included plastic and hazardous waste. The containers were imported in violation of Indonesian laws. Meanwhile, a French news outlet reported that many Asian countries are sending back garbage containers imported from developed countries. Colombia had sent back 1,600 tons of garbage to Canada and America, while Malaysia had turned back containers carrying 450 tons of waste from Australia and a number of other countries.
Staying on the same subject now, the Centre for Environmental Justice and the SLAAS Environment Committee organized a public dialogue on the garbage matter today.
In a container that we inspected, we found this document inside.
Information accompanying shipment of waste as referred to in Article 3 within bracket 2 and 4 of Basel Convention. Prior to ship this one from the UK, they have to obtain this document. And they have obtained this, which clearly says it's a waste.
Customs will not let this go. We do not have an idea of sweeping this under the carpet. We need to go according to the correct process.
Step by step.
This danger could affect us in many angles. There is a dialogue that has been created that there are human waste inside these containers. They said that these were going to be re-exported. If that is the case, why did they just leave it out in the open? The impact of it being left out is different than we imagine.
But my client, Metal Corporation, assures me that it is municipal waste, municipal mattresses, used mattresses, or post-consumed, as he likes to say. But it's used mattresses. If you go to his website, you will find that metal reprocessing and mattress recycling are mentioned in it. It is not a hidden business of his.
Started the investigation in May. Now, is it established that do we have an explanation as to whether it's clinical waste, household waste, municipal waste? Do we know right now?
Well, the investigation is in progress.
No, you don't have to tell us.
Let me answer the question. Maybe you say ask the yes or no, I have to say no.
How do you think it will take?
That depends on the reports.
So 2 months later, we still have to wait and see.
That I could answer because that if you ask that government license to issue a report tomorrow, I don't know whether that authority can issue that.
As far as you can speak for Ceylon Metal Processing, did you all import garbage or did you all import mattresses?
If they have done something wrong, they should go to jail. If they have done anything against environmental rights, they should go to jail. If they have violated something with customs, then customs and they should sort that out.
Website was created last
Website was not created by me, it was created independently. I went and looked at the website after I was hired.
date. Can you tell us the date, whether it was this incident or before
I
that?
have no idea. I looked at it about 2 weeks ago.
In your headlines for tonight, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, Archbishop of Colombo, convened a media briefing this morning.
අප්‍රේල් 21
A commission appointed with unbiased individuals to carry out a proper investigation and bring the wrongdoers of the April 21st attacks before the law and punish them has not been done as of yet. There was no independency or transparency in the commissions appointed. Therefore, I make a request to appoint a commission comprising of unbiased individuals with transparency to reveal the truth behind these attacks before the people of this country. The President, the Prime Minister, the opposition leader and the party leaders should unite when appointing this commission. Only with their unanimous decision that this commission should be appointed. We don't want these elections. We want the truth, but that said, I am not implying that the election should not be held. I humbly request to unravel the truth behind these terror attacks that the people of this country are waiting to hear since 3 months ago. What is the bitter truth behind this attack that people are trying to hide this much? I request to reveal the forces who disrupted the truth from surfacing before the people. We did not see the truth coming into light in cases like the Ratupaswala incident and Roshan Chanaka's murder. We ask for the truth still, but it never surfaced. Will the same fate befall this terror attack as well? I will not meet with any presidential candidate contesting from the ruling party, the opposition or from any other party if these requests are not granted. There is no need for those people to come to me. Another point I would like to highlight is that I do not belong to any political party, but the media and some people are trying to label me as working with certain parties. I see an endeavor to drag me into politics and make me a political stooge. Therefore, please don't try to add me to any party. I do not have any party. I only represent the party of the Sri Lankans of this country.
මට තියෙන්නේ මගේ ජනතාවගේ පක්ෂ.
At that time, you asked the government to go.
I didn't say that the government must go, but if the government can't do the job, then it must go. By what I meant by government can't do the job is to ensure that justice is done to my people.
I did not say that to the President or the Prime Minister. In my address, I said that the leaders should have an erect backbone when they are dealing with national matters. Have a strong backbone at decisive times. What can we do if the President accepted this on his behalf? We don't do politics. We should be individuals who try to revive our people through our religious ideologies.
උබුදුවාලන්නට කටයුතු කරන අය විය යුතුයි. කවුද කිව්වේ? ඒ පැමිණිලි වලින් වැඩක් නැහැ.
Who said that? Those complaints do not matter. They cannot weaken me. I am on the side of the people. I am with the people. The Pope is also closely observing everything.
එනම මේ පොඩි ළමයි වගේ මේ මොන්ටිසූරි ළමයි හැසිරෙන්නේ අන්න එහෙම තමයි. මොනවා හරි ඔච්චම
These people are acting like children from kindergarten. Those things do not work.
ඒව හරියන්නේ නැහැ. මම දන්නේ නැහැ.
I don't know. The Pope did not notify me of anything like that. He only said that he is standing beside me. Don't try to label me with party politics because I represent no party.
The motion presented to extend the state of emergency regulations was passed by a majority vote in Parliament today. 42 votes were received in favour of the motion, while 2 votes were received against it. Meanwhile, the opposition stated in Parliament today that the State Lands Special Provisions Bill should be withdrawn immediately.
The Supreme Court has made it clear in their determination that the Land Special Provisions Act was brought to Parliament illegally. Thereby, first, this act should be withdrawn from Parliament by the government. The mistake is that this has been presented in violation of the Constitution. It is only after the President first directs this to the provincial councils that the government can present this act in Parliament. You have misled the parliament through this.
There could be only one provincial council left, but this must be referred to the Uber Provincial Council. Minister Kirialla is a lawyer and he knows that. We have a question as to if you respect the decision of the Supreme Court, if it only benefits you.
There are 2.5 million people residing on lands in this country and they do not have deeds. They cannot obtain a loan from a bank. They cannot transfer this land to their children. They cannot divide this land. We brought this act for the 2.5 million people in the country. This is what they are against.
I was one of the MPs who filed a petition at the Supreme Court. The stories that Lakshman Kirialla says about this petition are all false. This is an act brought by you to steal the land of the general public of this country and help make an economic corridor as proposed by the United States.
Millennium Challenge.
The government has taken up an American project by the name of Millennium Challenge Cooperation. According to this project, there are proposals in it to activate the land market in the country. The government has accepted these. One of the proposals is to establish the state land bank. The second was to activate the private land bank. The only obstacle for that is that there are lands that are held under a permit and lands that are being held under various other means. Now, when land deeds are given to the farmers and the agricultural industry in the country is dropped, they will sell off all these lands outright, the farming lands of the country. Also, America has proposed an economic corridor from Trincomalee to Colombo. It is a special economic corridor. 1.2 million acres of land will be taken over for it. These lands cannot be taken over when they are held under a permit. These lands cannot be taken over if they have Sarabhumi land deeds.
Lanka ඉඩක්වලින් 100ට අඩුවක් අයිති ආණ්ඩුවට. Don't shout mate, sit down. Bloody fool. Sir, මේගොල්ලෝ මේ ඇමරිකාව ගැන කියනවා. මුළු රාජපක්ෂ පවුලම ඇමරිකන් පුරවැසියෝ. එතකොට හොඳයි.
What is the stance of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna regarding the agreements with America? This is the response of MP Pavitra Wanyarachi.
ये वसंत समरसिंह महात्मया මේ අභියෝගයක් කර ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයාට සහ මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයාට හැකිනම් කියන්න එතුමන්ලා ආවට පස්සේ සෝපා එක්සා වැනි ගිවිසුම් වලට අත්සන් කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ඔබතුමිය හිතන්නේ එතුමන්ලට මේ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න පුළුවන්?
අනිවාර්යයෙන් මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමන්ලා
Definitely, Mahinda Rajapaksa took aid from foreign countries, but they took those aid on terms beneficial to our motherland. We are not saying that we did not accept aid, but we did not accept the aid and sign agreements that would be detrimental to the country from the other side. We did it in a manner that benefited the country.
මාතෘ භූමියට වාසිදායක ආකාරයටයි කළේ.
Citizens organizations collective convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
America has the ability to enact certain laws on individuals who renounce their American citizenship. For a certain time period, they have ties with America. Gotabaya Rajapaksa is a pawn of America. It is very clear that he is working according to the agenda of America. That is why we see the American ambassador secretly meeting Mahinda Rajapaksa last week. We know of the agreements that were signed with America. It was Gotabaya Rajapaksa that made these security agreements and joined hands with America. Now today we are faced with serious agreements such as SOFA. Gotabaya Rajapaksa is the perfect person to implement these agreements. He is most probably America's pick. What will be the plight of this country if a partial citizen of America becomes the president of this country?
Who is the presidential candidate of the alliance headed by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna? This was Prasanna Ranatunga's response regarding that matter.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාගේ මේ ඇමරිකානු පුරවැසිභාවය අහෝසි කිරීම සම්බන්ධ ලිපිය ව්‍යාජ ලිපියක් කියලා.
I do not know whether it is forged or not. Neither does it matter to us. If he himself says there is no issue, as a party, we will believe him and put him forward. It is not fitting to talk about personal issues which happen at embassies. If he cannot renounce his US citizenship, I do not think he will be put forward.
එතුමාට ඉල්ලන්න බැරි නම් එතුමාට දුෂ්ට පුරවැසිභාව අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් එතුමව දාන එකක් නෑ.
මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබෙනවද ඒ කියන්නේ මේ සමහර
නෑ නේ ඉතින් 11 වෙනිදාට බලා ගන්නකෝ.
The parliamentarian expressed these views following the conclusion of a meeting which was held between opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa and small and medium-scale mill owners. Paddy mill owners have been wronged. They get by with great difficulty by pawning their belongings. Their rights have not been uplifted. One person died after consuming poison. Such is the situation at present.
Once again, taking a look at the parliamentary proceedings held this morning, a media briefing was held at the parliament today by the joint opposition.
Within 113 days, the presidential election must be held. Nominations should be accepted within 83 days. There is no way of postponing the presidential election. The Sri Lanka Podujana Perabuna, the citizens of this country and forces will present our candidate as the best candidate in 10 days. We will present it to the country. We have come to the final stages of the formation of this alliance after 4.5 years. Within a few days, we will reveal this alliance. 13 parties are included in our joint opposition party. We have entered into a memorandum of understanding with 11 registered political parties. 4 of those 11 were in the Swan Alliance in the January 8th elections.
The General Secretary of the United National Party, Akila Viraj Karyavasam, expressed the following views in Kuliyapitiya today regarding the new alliance being formed, led by the United National Party.
Everything has been set in order to form a new alliance together with the UNP and the UNF and many other parties on the 5th of August. It has also been decided to hold this ceremony with the participation of all party leaders, parliamentarians, district organizers, civil societies and other party representatives. Further, we will hold a rally at the Golf Face Green. Once all the parties sign to be part of this alliance, all the leaders of the alliance and the leaders of the UNP will decide the presidential candidate and the prime ministerial candidate. The minister made these comments while participating in the ceremony to hand over appointment letters to 1,391 graduate trainee development officers in the Kurunegala district. We will provide all A-level students of national schools with tabs as the first phase of the program implemented to provide tabs to school students. My ministry has expedited the matter. There are 97,000 students and teachers so far. We will provide those students with a digital teacher. A few months after implementing the first phase, we will provide all A-level students and teachers with a tab.
The following views were expressed by the Governor of the Central Province and President's Council Maitri Gunaratna on the MIMA program aired on our channel a short while ago. According to the unofficial information that we received, a leadership council will be established with 10 members. Plans are afoot to include only one member from each party in the alliance to this leadership council. So if this constitution includes such a provision that only one member from each party can be appointed to this leadership council, and the information we received suggests that this is the case, the person representing the United National Party in the leadership council will be Ranil Wickremesinghe, and discussions have been held to that end.
Ranil Wickremesinghe mahatmaya කියන එක යම් තැනක සාකච්ඡා වෙලා තියෙනවා.
They are now trying to get to the position of presidential candidate indirectly.
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම
Then they will ask the members of the remaining parties, who do you think the candidate for the presidential election should be? The biggest problem here is that the decisions of the UNP were taken by the working committee of the UNP. But today, Ranil Wickremesinghe and his friends are continuing to lose their power in the working committee as well. They have understood this situation, and because of that, Ranil Wickremesinghe had informed the parliamentary group of the UNP last week that the presidential candidate will be jointly selected by the Central Working Committee and the parliamentary group. If this happens, what will be the fate of the people?
මෙහෙම වුණොත් ජනතාවට මොකක් වේවිද? මෛත්‍රී ගුණරත්න මහත්මයා
If this is how the conditions of the memorandum of understanding are going to be made, what will really happen to the people?
කොන්දේසි පෙළ ගැසෙන්න හදන්නේ ඇත්තටම ජනතාවට මොකක් වේවිද?
දීපල්
This is the usual behavior of Ranil Wickremesinghe. I am not surprised at all regarding this. There is a strong call from within the UNP asking that Sajith Premadasa be given this opportunity. The best way for Ranil Wickremesinghe to put this aside is to create a new alliance. When the alliance is created, the UNP will only be one party inside this alliance. They are going to leave aside a major political party with a vote base of about 20 to 35%, and Ranil Wickremesinghe will become the member of this group. The other members of the alliance will decide on the presidential candidate. He will at this instance make sure that he is the one who chooses the candidate. What happens through this is that the aspirations of the people will be washed away.
The foundation stone for the 306th Dhamma school building constructed under the Sisu Daham Sevana program was laid in Kottava today. The event was presided over by the deputy leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
The foundation stone for the Sri Dharmasiri Dhamma school at the Pandipitiya Sri Dhammakitta Rama Purana Viharaya in Kottava was laid today. The Daham school building will be constructed at a cost of 4 million rupees from the Central Cultural Fund under the direction of the chief incumbent, Venerable Dr. Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera. They speak highly of Buddhism and being a Sinhala national. All of this talk is only to nourish their family and get into the palace. I would like to ask them as to if hosting races opposite the temple of the sacred tooth relic is a thing that a Sinhala Buddhist would do. Holding musical shows in those sacred grounds with dancers brought from Russia. Are these things that a Sinhala Buddhist would do? Would a Sinhala Buddhist get war heroes who won the war for us to carry sandbags for car races? I hope that you would be endowed with the wisdom to make a wise decision through a clear understanding of reality.
A book spanning from the era of ancient kings in Polonnaruwa to the era of present presidents was launched at the BMICH today under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. The book was first presented to the Mahasangha, then it was presented to the university scholars and school children. President Maithripala Sirisena then presented the book to the editorial advisory board. Meanwhile, a media briefing was held in Colombo today to confirm the cabinet decision which was taken granting free arrival visa to 45 countries.
And in May, our numbers went down to 37,000 tourists. So that was a daily average of 1,260. But in June, we managed to record a month-on-month growth of almost 67%. Our numbers went up to 63,000 in June. So from June to July, the percentage increase would be over 80%. So by all means, it's a good rate of recovery.
Since the unfortunate and the tragic blast which took place on Easter, we have taken all the necessary precautions to ensure that tourists can visit Sri Lanka and to ensure that they have a safe stay in Sri Lanka. Firstly, as you know, all persons involved in this whole ISIS inspired attack on 21st are all under the custody of the Sri Lanka police. People who had associations with them, long-standing association, though they are not involved in the attack, have also been questioned. Some have been detained, some have been released. So we are also now focusing on the revival of tourism. As you know, many measures have been taken. The visas have been, requirements have been lifted. We are in the process of granting moratorium to our members who are involved in the tourist industry. We have now taken steps to reduce the ground handling charges and the fuel charges at the Colombo airport. So all these measures are coming in, which should make it easier and certainly more profitable for airlines to come in. And firstly, remember that there has been a big drop in the government revenue. And when more tourists come in, the economy will pick up. And so whatever you lose on that, you can make up on the revenue.
Because Cabinet has approved the visa fee exemption on tourists who are coming into the country. That is one aspect of it. The other will be visa on arrival as well. So say a model that is being followed by Singapore as well. Yeah, maybe we can always revise this list and include any other countries that if you can inform us. These are countries that have requested when we started this process. So we are, for the moment we have had this list, I can also include Saudi Arabia and any other countries if you would wish to.
We are pleased to announce that from 1st of August onward, there will be no payment for ETA. 4 channels being in place for ETA. While the most common and modern way of applying is submitting application online through departmental official website www.eta.government.lk.
The Gamma teams which toured several areas in the island pointed out that the plight of the people has become a mere tool for politicians as a trump card in order to secure votes during election seasons.
The villagers in the Kulambaba, in Kalawava, Ihalapuliyankulama and Mivallava are both enraged and helpless at the same time. These villagers don't have access to clean drinking water. They are caught in between the human-elephant conflict, and to add to the pile of burdens, their lands have grown barren due to the poor management of irrigational water. These villagers who were once fooled by these politicians vow never to be beguiled by them again. The villagers in Peruvitia, Panangala, Kurudugolla, that is situated in the vicinity of tourist destination Alla, state that they are reduced to the refugee status. The road running from Bandaravela to Atampitia is in a dilapidated condition and has caused serious inconveniences for those that depend on this road for their day-to-day activities.
තුනත් හිතා ඉන්නේ මිනිස්සුන්ට තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා. හැබැයි මිනිස්සුන්ට ඒක නෙවෙයි අපේක්ෂකනේ. එදා කියලා කන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. අපේ අවශ්‍යතාවය තියෙන අද හම්බ කරගෙන අද කන්නේ කොහොමද?
No one has visited the fishing villages of Attalachenne and Ashraf Nagar to give a solution to the problems faced by the people living there. The villagers living in the Sangaman Kanda in Amparo have scheduled access to clean drinking water. The villagers who have no confidence in the authorities shared with us their toils and burdens they face in life.
9 runs, only 4 Bangladeshi batsmen made it into double figures.
Wrong on. First wicket for Akila Dhananjaya.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News. Thanks for watching. Good night and take care.